J.D. Vance has a problem, and that problem is that his wife is Hindu and his wife is Indian. Now, I want to be clear. That is not a problem for me. This is a problem for J.D. Vance and increasingly for his 2028 chances because of the monster that MAGA has created. Let me explain. I don't want this to be a J.D. Vance, Erica Kirk gossip story. If you haven't heard about this over the last few days, there's been growing kind of gossip that maybe J.D. Vance and Charlie Kirk's widow, Erica Kirk, are involved in an affair. A lot of this has been inspired by when Erica Kirk recently introduced J.D. Vance at a Turning Point event. They sort of seemed handsy. She ran her hands through his hair. He embraced her in what some said, this is more than just a platonic way. She's wearing leather pants. Every detail is being analyzed. And on top of this, J.D. Vance has recently been talking about he would love it if his Indian Hindu wife, Usha Vance, embraced Christianity more. Maybe she would even consider converting to Christianity. So there is a real story here, but it's about whether J.D. Vance could win in 2028 with a wife that is Indian and Hindu. We could spend time talking about how Erica Kirk did seem handsy with J.D., but that's not the point of this story. And we could talk about how Erica Kirk certainly hasn't seemed like the heartbroken, grieving widow, but everybody experiences grief differently, and I'm not really interested in that. We could speculate about whether Erica Kirk and J.D. Vance are already having an affair, or whether an affair is imminent, but that's not really a political story for me. The story has to start with what we know. And what we know is that the Turning Point MAGA base already confronted Vivek Ramaswamy, now running for governor of Ohio, because he's Hindu and not Christian. Remember this? Just a great example of the monster you helped build turning against you. Here are like Charlie Kirk disciples saying, wait a second, you're not Christian. That's a problem.
Jesus Christ is God, and there is no other God. He is part of the Holy Trinity, and any other God is a demon, and it's false. How can you represent the constituents of Ohio who are 64% Christian if you are not a part of that faith? If you are an Indian, a Hindu, coming from a different culture, different religion than those who founded this country, those who grew this country, built this country, made this country the beautiful thing that it is today, what are you conserving? You are bringing change. I'll be 100% honest with you. Christianity is the one truth.
Christian voices should be the main voice of America, and I want to know basically why you seem to be, and I don't mean to be horribly offensive, but why you seem to be masquerading as a Christian.
You familiar with the
All right, so you get the point, right? Being Hindu is becoming a problem with the future Republican voting base for Vivek Ramaswamy. And I believe that it is going to become a problem for J.D. Vance as well. If you like this type of analysis, make sure you've liked this video and please do hit the subscribe button. So we know that for J.D. Vance's 2028 aspirations, if he has them, and reports are that he does, that he is going to need to explain his Hindu wife to MAGA. And that could be a real problem for him. It even sort of seems like J.D. Vance realizes it because he's talking more than ever about, I would love my wife to embrace Christianity. Maybe she should even convert. Now, you might say, wait a second, David. Melania Trump is from another country. And the United States still voted for Trump. They didn't care that Melania is from another country. And I would say to you, hold on a second. Usha Vance isn't from another country. That's not the issue. She was born in California. Melania is white. Usha Vance is not. Melania is at least nominally Christian. Usha Vance is not. In fact, the Melania story is funny for a different reason. Melania came to the United States and worked in the U.S. before having a work visa. She was here working without permission. That's an immigration violation, but MAGA voters don't care about that. Those rules are, they're not for people like Melania, they're for other people. Melania Trump received a visa for something called extraordinary ability. Some people call it the Einstein visa. That doesn't sound appropriate, but MAGA looks away anyway. Melania's parents got citizenship through the same so-called chain migration that Donald Trump has attacked. But come on, it's Melania. MAGA looks away. They forgive. But Usha Vance has brown skin, and she's Hindu, not Christian. And so even though Usha Vance is a native-born American, MAGA is going to have a problem with her that I don't think they're going to ignore, because they're not ignoring it with Vivek Ramaswamy. And I believe that means she has become or would become a problem for JD in 2028. What do you think? Leave me a comment, send me an email, info@davidpakman.com.